Hello beautiful souls, welcome to part 2 of making of this journal spread. Here I will be sharing about the pop-up mechanism, and if you haven't watched part 1, I have shared how I created the first page of this spread in that video. Do watch it. Here I'm working on the pop-up. I made a rough draft of the mechanism off camera, and here I'm arbitrarily measuring with the help of squares of this cutting mats. But you can take measurements according to your journal, keeping in mind that we draw two equidistant score lines from both ends, save for 1 centimeter. These folds are for gluing the mechanism to our page. The second line is marked on one side 2 blocks or 2 centimeter away from the first score line, and then we fold the page on that second score line, after which we make a triangular fold from the edge towards the first score line of that side. I've zoomed in the video so that you can see it clearly. This will create a V type of fold, and then we back fold the paper on those crease lines we created to make the pop-up work. To attach the pop-up to the page, we lay the paper flat with the short arm on the left and the middle of the pages aligning on the second score lines. We mark the position on the left page using this as a guide, and then flip the paper 180 degree and glue that part of the long arm on the left side. The second side of the pop-up is attached at the place where it lies when we close everything. To attach the girl, I have added an extra arm on that V we created so that the girl moves in the way I imagined. As my journal was chunky on one side and was not laying flat, I was having a bit trouble in placing the pop-up. I hope I was able to explain how to make the pop-up. To test the positioning, I have used glue tape as it makes the manipulation easier. When I was satisfied with the way everything was, I glued everything in place with a good adhesive. I wanted to arrange the girl in a way that she's visible from the door or window, whatever you call it, and when I open the gate or turn the page, I wanted the girl should move in a way that it feels that the girl is watering the garden. Like she slightly gets up from wherever she's sitting and watering the plants. Something like that I had in my mind when I started this spread. Now I'm trying to hide the long arm. I'm using green paper to hide the white part so that it feels like it is the part of the garden. I used this box of flowers from a pet tape to hide it. I'm applying this green paper behind the tape just to avoid any leftover sticky area from sticking to the paper at the unwanted areas, so that the movement of the pop-up is not hampered. Here I am changing the arm for girl from white to green to go with the gardeny feel. I had to cut it as it was stuck with a strong adhesive, and later on I realized it turned out to be better, as that slight lift to the arm due to the left paper helped in avoiding the blocking of movement of the girl by the elements that were placed beneath the girl. I have already pre-cut the flowers because I feel they take so long, and I'm a bit particular about them too. I cut them too precisely, so I've already done it beforehand. Now I'll be arranging all the flowers. I think arranging and choosing of flowers took the longest time in this spread. I've sped the video 10x times here, as I was just seeing what will work, what will not work, though by the end all the arrangements that I've tried here were changed slowly, element by element. Here I'm using artist inks in a muddy color and a greenish color to color the background, so that it seems we are in a garden where somewhere there is mud and somewhere there is moss. This golden thing in my head, this golden diecut, was like a large stone on which the girl is sitting, and then I arranged all the flowers here and there. It took me a while to decide what flowers should I choose so that it looks like a garden that has many types of flowers, but still somehow the colors and the style don't give a weird contrast and blend with each other to form a good garden. Because in my head, a garden has a lot of different flowers, not just one kind. I purposely choose wilted flowers to place where the can will point when the girl moves for watering. So that was the idea behind, like she's watering the wilted plant. For the next 30-35 seconds, I'll be just arranging the flowers and trying to cover the whole page with flowers so that it feels like the girl is sitting in a garden full of flowers and greenery. I've kept the color palette of the flowers in the tones of pinks and purples. I just saw all my flower pet tapes, and whatever purple or pink I found, I just added it here. So basically the palette of the whole spread ended up being pink, purples and greens. And yes, I messed up there. The flower completely tore off, but I guess pet tapes are forgiving like that. We can just stick them back together on the paper and no one will ever know. Every time you will see me checking if the pop-up is working properly, if the things peeking out the door are looking decent enough. I keep checking the position of the girl is correct or not, if it's showing properly from the first page. Like again and again, after putting each element, I'm like again checking. Now I wanted vines on the upper side of the page, so I used this beautiful leaf stamp that came in a set and stamped my heart out. I've also messed up at a lot of places because I was too lazy to clean the stamp each time before stamping. So I have hidden those mishaps with leaf die cuts in a way that it gave a little dimension. I don't know, that was the idea in my mind. I tried to hide all those marks with something leafy, whatever I could find. I also have these cute hanging terrariums from a pet tape. They have very cute succulents in them, so I also used this in my spread. And yes, my head came blocking the whole view, so I had to cut that part of the video because I guess I forgot that I was filming and started focusing only on the spread. Or maybe I was a little tired by now because it was around 2 or 3, I guess, at night. That little space on the right was bothering me, so I used the terrarium sticker there as well. They came in a pet tape, and I really like the girls of the pet tape, but I haven't used them yet. In the end, I used this paper. It's a very beautiful texture paper, and the fact that it tears with such rough margin, it gives such perfect grassy feel in the spread. I really loved using this sheet. It mimics grass so perfectly. I really scrunched it some more to look as close to grass as possible. In the end, I finally did add the fence, but I guess I forgot to record it. I hope the whole video wasn't boring and a little informative or fun to watch. Do let me know in the comments below. And lots of positive vibes to the person who watched it till here. Thank you so much.